also the 4th North American event. How many of you have been to Camp KDE before? So more than half of the room. This is your first Camp KDE event. First KDE event ever? Or have you been to Academy? Some of the, okay, so we have a lot of new people here in the North American community. That's great, because that's exactly why this event exists. First, I'd like to thank our sponsors so that we can actually put on this event, namely the KDE, who helped a lot with travel. Also, of course, the Linux Foundation, and soon we'll hear from Jim Zemlin from the Linux Foundation. It's really exciting to be here at the Collaboration Summit because, bringing the projects together. KDE is a Linux project, but it's not just Linux, it's more part of the greater open source community, and so it's great to be able to be here with a very large Linux community and be able to communicate with them, collaborate with them. How many of you are staying later for the week for the Collaboration Summit? Okay, so we have a lot of people who are actually staying for the event, so that's great, and that's definitely one of the goals that we had whenever we thought about co-locating with the Linux Collaboration Summit, was that we could cross over these communities. We'd also like to thank Google. They've been a great sponsor over the years to the KDE community, and they have also sponsored the event. Also the Nokia Cute framework, you might see a couple cute stickers or paraphernalia floating around on the table. We have some Nokia guys here. You should thank them, give them a hug, or pat them back, especially
You don't need to break that, so.
But we would also like to thank IX Systems, who has also been a great support in the North American community. So just a little bit about today. First, please silence your phones. We heard phone go off earlier today. Everybody has vibrate on their phones, so I'm sure. There should be power floating around, so you should be able to plug in pretty easily. Also, Wi-Fi. The hotel has Wi-Fi, but it's not that great. We do have Wi-Fi provided by the organizers. Linux-2 or Linux.-5 is the access point, and then the password is Linux Foundation, all lowercase according to their sign. For the access point. Okay, so I haven't heard any complaints, and lots of laptops are open, so I assume everybody is on email. Just a little bit about today. I'll be your hostess today, and tomorrow Jeff Mitchell will be your host, and we'll just guide you through Camp KDE. Sorry it's not bright and sunny like San Diego or Jamaica, but San Francisco is a fantastic city, so I'm sure you all will enjoy yourselves tonight and during the day. We'll first hear from Jim, who will talk a little bit about the state of Linux desktop. And then in the morning, we'll have a few talks on personal information management. We'll have lunch. There are lots of places to eat of varying levels of price in the mall that's right next door. So basically you go out of the hotel and go down the street, it's a one-way street, so it's opposite of traffic and it's right next door. There's noodle places, sushi places, cafes, that sort of thing. It's all Japanese food. Japanese, and there's Korean barbecue across the street also. If you don't like that type of food, I think if you continue down Post Street in the opposite direction of traffic, there is a Wendy's and a Johnny Rocket, so if you want burgers and you don't want that sort of thing. Anyway, so after lunch we'll talk about KDE on mobile, which has really been a hot topic for KDE over the past 2 years. And then we'll have some time after the event where you can stay in the room and talk to people, get some hacking done, or go out to dinner, and then we'll have a Camp KDE party later this evening at Noisebridge, which is one of the local San Francisco hacker spaces. They've been very gracious to allow us to invade their space. That will be 7 or 8? 8. I think it's 8. So please eat before you come. There will not be food. We will have some beer, but if you have particular tastes, feel free to bring your own beer. I will provide more information on how to get to Noisebridge. It's 2 miles away, which is a little bit far to walk unless you really like walking. Taxis to that area would only be a few dollars, especially if you share ride, but there's also a bus that goes past it. We'll provide all that information at the end of the day. But again, touching on Camp KDE, North America is a very large community. We have tons of people here, and just seeing how many new people we have here is a good showing of this. The greater KDE community doesn't realize this because the North American community is sort of segregated. So the greater KDE community, or the community centered around the actual production of the technology and the EV, which is the nonprofit, you know, they support Asia and India and Europe and South America, but there are only a handful of us who are active from North America. But we have tons of local community groups thanks to the Ubuntu communities. The Linux Fest continually show how many KDE users are there. Scale is one of the biggest events for KDE in North America, and a lot of the Linux user groups have lots of KDE users. And so I hope events like this help pull the North American community together rather than, I mean, North America is really big. I mean, North America is, and we have lots of people, we have 300 million people in it. So it's hard for us to always, you know, get together and be able to collaborate. But I hope having events like this will help bring us together and also reconnect us to the greater KDE project. And so I know I've been going on, and before I get to Jim, we have a last-minute special guest. Cornelius Schumacher, the president of the KDE EV, has decided to join us this year, and he'll just give us a few words of encouragement about KDE.
Thank you. So first of all, I want to say it's great to be here, and thanks to all the people who made this happen. So thanks to the Linux Foundation for hosting us. Thanks for all our sponsors. Thanks to all the organizers who spent countless hours on all the groundwork here, so that's great. And before we start, I just wanted to briefly tell you a little bit about what this event means for me. So the first Linux event I attended, the first time I met these strange Linux people in person was, I think, in 1999. And that was in a small German town called Kaiserslautern. There was the Linux Tag, which was pretty famous these days. It still exists. It's in Berlin now. But that was the first time I really met these people. So I had email contact with some of them before, and so I went there, and I was really blown away by the event. It was wonderful. So there were so many people there. I think it was at the university, and I think they already got a bit nervous about the huge number of people getting there and listening to talks. So I remember one talk by Torben Weiss. Maybe the name means something for some of you. Yeah, so if you look at the KDE commit logs at the very beginning, there was some stuff. So he introduced the idea of using callbar in KDE. And at that Linux talk, he apologized for that idea and showed the office which worked without callbar. So that was great. And the talk was so packed that they had to close the doors. They had to do it a second time so that everybody could listen to that. So what to me was really impressive about that was the event. On one thing, I was really impressed about the KDE people which were there, how down to earth they were, how practical, how focused on getting things done. So I was working in Care Organizer at that time, and I met Preston Brown, who maintained it at that time. So I introduced myself, and then there was no small talk. He didn't ask me how was your trip or how's the weather or whatever. So he just said, "Oh yeah, I saw your patch. I think you're right." And then he opened Emacs, and we discussed some details. So and I was completely. I thought, "Oh, right, that's fast." So but that was great. And the other thing which really impressed me was how strong this community feeling was. So there were many KDE people I never had met before, but it felt like meeting old friends. We all had the same ideas, the same values, and that's something which was really special, and I was very surprised about that. So now that was 1999, we have come a long way. So at that time, I think it was the central KDE event, the Linux Tag. So now we have annual conferences. Actually next year we will have the annual KDE Conference Academy for the 10th time. So this is quite something. We are doing developer sprints a lot. We are having more than 20 sprints each year. We are having smaller events, we have bigger events, and we have all these regional events, which I think have become pretty important. So we have in Spain, I think for how many KDE ES did we have so far?
I think this third or fourth already.
So I think they started somehow this way. They incorporated it as an official organization now. We have this special relationship from KDE to the Spanish organization. Also, we had just a few weeks ago the KDE conference in India, the first one, which was a huge success. And so all these regional events, I think, are really, really important. They show how KDE has grown, because we can't just do everything from this small German town anymore. We need a global organization. And fortunately, we as KDE, we are now in a situation that we can support that. So we have sponsors, we have community, we have members, we have people who help with that. And so we can sustain that. Yeah. And the great thing about Camp KDE is that it's the representation of the North American community. And of course, the North American community, I think, is one of the most important ones, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. And it's really great to see that you are here and that you are working on that. So we have some challenges left, I think. There's still some Windows steps to conquer. And I think we also have many new areas where we can expand and be successful. And I think we will hear about that a bit later. So I think there's still a lot to do. And our way to do that is having a strong community. And our community has proven that it has the traction, it has the momentum, it has the passion to actually be successful and move forward with that. And I would really hope that we can take all the momentum we have and also grow the North American community and make it even bigger, make it stronger, and make Camp KDE really a great event also for the future. And in the end, who can make this happen? That's the North American community, that's you. So you are the community, you are KDE. And I'm really looking forward to have some more discussions about how we can move forward with that. Hear about some of the great stuff we have done over the last time, and talk a bit more about the future of KDE and how we can make these traits I talked about, so this pragmatism, this focus on getting things done, and this passion and this friendship, really a big thing for KDE and the whole free software community. So that's it. I hope you enjoy your event, and let's start.
So I would like to.
What did you do, Cornelius?
I know the source of that feedback. It's all the metal in my leg.